Action.
All right. Now we are still on the course outline, which is number 4. It's talking about the organization of statistical data. We have done the construction of frequency distribution, which I show you on the table. The construction of frequency table. We also talked about the pie chart. We just finished pie chart now. And the next one is construction of what? Of a bar chart. And don't forget that a bar chart is one of the most popular types of what? Of diagram used to show the statistics information. Bar chart also consists of what? Of triangular bars or rectangular bars that they consist of rectangular bars and is equal with equal length and width, and the same the height may be different. The height may be different. And again, to explain this better, I think I have a question. I have one example here. The question says that the table below shows the number of items produced by one direct ventures over a 5-year period, or a period of 5 years. So the period of 5 years, we have 1991, the years are 1991, 1992, 1993, 1994, and 1995. And then we also have what they produce. Item produced for 1991 is 4,000. They produce 4,000. And 1992 they produce 1,500 as a product. And 1993 they produce 3,000. And 1994 they produce 2,500. 1995 they produce 5,000. So the question now says we should illustrate the information, the bar chart. Illustrate the information on the bar chart. And let me write it out. So this is the example. We use this example to illustrate what we mean by what? To construct a bar chart. Or the question says the table below. So the table below shows the number of items. Shows the number of items. The number of items produced by what? By direct ventures. Produced by direct ventures over a 5 years period of time. Over a 5 years period. Right, this is the table. We have the years, then we have items produced. This is what we call numbers of years. Number of years. There is the items produced. We have the item produced. So you draw a line this way just to show it on the table. I draw it this way to show it on the table. Alright, the first thing we have here, we have 1991, that's the year. 1992, 1993, 1994, 1995. Let's stop it here. So we record what they are producing each year. So for 1991 is 4,000 production. 1992 is 1,500 production. 1993 is 3,000. They produce 3,000. And 1994 is 2,500. And 1995 the production is 5,000. It increased to 5,000. So the question now says that we should illustrate the information above. The information above using what? Using bar chart. Using bar chart. So we should illustrate. So there's a question. So Then we now provide solution to this question. This is the question, we provide solution to it now. So to provide a solution to this question, the first thing is the table is there. What we just need is which one is our frequency side and which one is our which one will be on the frequency side and which one is the high times. So don't forget that the high times will be on what? On the frequency side. That is the high times produced will be on the frequency side, and the numbers of years will be what? Will be on the x-axis, which is we call something the y coordinate and the x coordinate. That is, the y coordinate is horizontal, is vertical. It's vertical. That is the numbers of years. No, the items produced will be vertical. That is on y-axis, and the numbers of year will be horizontal. That is on x-axis. So that is how you are going to arrange it. That's how you're going to arrange it. So now, say the question now. So I'm trying to construct the bar chart using this table. We're using the table to construct the bar chart now. So with this table, a bar chart is what? Is formed. A bar chart is formed. Let me clean it and draw it. I think I picked the question. So let me clean it now. So we want to use the table now to draw the bar chart. Alright, so that you can understand what you are doing, let me put the table here. So we have the table, we have numbers of years, then we have items produced, so that you can understand it better. Then we draw it, from here, so you understand what we're trying to do now. So we have 1991, 1992, 1993, 1994, 1995. So this is what we want to do now. So this is 5,000, this is 2,500, this is 4,000, this is what? 1,500, and this is 3,000. Okay. So now to represent it on a bar chart now. Now this is your bar chart now. So we can say that this is bar chart. Now I will call something. I say this is your y-axis, which is vertical. So we draw it straight down. You can see where the pointer is. Then we now say this is our center 0, and this one that is going this horizontal is what we call what? X-axis. So we say this is x-axis, that is the x coordinate, and you can see the one vertical. We can say the one vertical is what? Is items this produce. You can say is items produced. That is your frequency. Produced. Is items produced. So the numbers of items, the highest is 5,000. So definitely this side is what? Is 5,000. And looking at the range now, you can say the first, using your notes, don't forget to make use of your note. The first line is center 0. And the first one, we can say the range is from 1,000, one unit to represent 1,000. So this is 1,000. The production is 1,000. The next line we say is 1,500. The third line we say is what? 2,000. The next line is 2,500. The next line is what? 3,000. The next line we say 3,500. The next line 4,000. And the next line we say is 4,500. And the last line is what? Is 5,000. That is the items of production. Now the next one that's on the y-axis, which is vertical. Now on the horizontal plane now, we call something we call it numbers of years. So this you can just represent it by what? By numbers of years of production. That is numbers of years of production. Now, you are not supposed to draw anything here. What do I mean? Is while you are drawing the bar chart now, then you are going to be under it. Now don't forget the first year is 1991. And what do we have in 1991? We have the production is 4,000. Where the production is 4,000, don't forget to make use of your ruler and pencil to draw this thing so that it can be neat. Use your pencil and ruler when you are drawing it. And when there is an error, you can easily erase it and get rid of it. Is that clear now? So to draw this one now, 1991, the first one is what? 1991. And don't forget when you are drawing bar chart, you are not supposed to start with this first line. You need to, there will be separation, there will be gap in between the first line and what you are drawing. The same thing applicable to the next subsequent drawing. Now, we use your ruler to trace it where you have 4,000. You can see these are 4,000. Then you trace it down to where you have what? 1991. So using your ruler is going to give you a straight, perfect picture line that you want. You can see. Don't forget I'm using my freehand sketch. That's why it is like bending. Don't mind my drawing. So you can see. Now to make it look attractive, then you are going to design something like this. This is what we call design. You just put it something like bars into it like this. So it beautifies a little bit. You make it look another thing entirely. So you can see it's okay like this. So now this is for 1999. Now for 1992, what is the production of 1992? 1,500. With your ruler, you trace it. You can see it's some ruler. Don't forget there will be gap in between the first year and the second year, which is 1999. Use your ruler to draw all these things so that it can be very, very okay. Now, that is what we call bar chart. Then you beautify it by drawing these little bars into it by making use of these bars. Now, this is 1990 what? 1992 production. Alright, for 1993 is 3,000. The same you make use of a ruler, you draw it to where you have 3,000, and 3,000 is something here. Now with your ruler now, you trace it up, you trace it where you have 3,000, then you trace it down again. You trace it down again. You can see that now. So by making it so lively, then you introduce some bars inside. So that is your bar chart. That is for 1993. Now for 1994, 1994 is 2,500. You trace it where you have with your ruler. Trace it out first, then you mark it somewhere here. Then you trace it up with your ruler again. You can see this is what? This is 2,500 for 1990. That's 1994. Then you design it as well. You design it as well by drawing some bars inside it. So this is what we call a bar chart. You can see the distance are not too much and they are like rectangular in rectangular form. So the last but not the least is 1990 what? 1995 production, which is 5,000. Now you can trace out 5,000 with your ruler. You see it catches somewhere around here. It falls around this side. So tracing it with your ruler now. Don't forget you are using ruler. Don't use your free hand. So you can see this way. So you trace it out again, then you draw it down. Don't mind my drawing. My drawing is bent because I'm not using what? I'm not using ruler. That's why it's somehow bent like this. So you can see of the same length, the same size, and the same width. You can see that now. So now you can just design this by drawing some bars inside this to make it so nice and beautiful. So to have a beautiful production, so we have something like this. So this is what we call bar chart. So we have prepared a bar chart for the above distribution. We have prepared a bar chart for the above distribution. So this is what we call bar chart. If you don't know that, and we make use of that table to illustrate what we have in the table. We use it to illustrate the bar. We use this bar chart to illustrate it as well. So this is bar chart. For those of you who don't know bar chart. Now the next thing we are going to move on is histogram. We want to construct histogram. That is the next thing we are moving to. How do we construct histogram? Yes, don't forget that histogram is just like bar chart, but the only difference is when you are drawing histogram, you can also use this one to form your histogram. You can use it to form your histogram, but this one you are going to be joining things together. Now, let's use this table now to form our histogram so that we will understand better with the same measurement, with the same scale given. Don't forget we use 1 unit to represent 1000 on the y-axis, then the x-axis gives the distance. So I will claim this now. What I will just use this one to do is to illustrate what? The histogram. I will use it to represent the histogram. So let me just claim the bars. So I will use it to draw histogram, and from histogram we use it to draw the frequency polygon as usual. So let me just clean the down part as well. Okay, don't forget that this is numbers of what? Numbers of years. These numbers of years. Alright, we want to draw, this is histogram now. He said we should use it to histogram. He said we should use the information above to represent what? Histogram. Now we want to use the same table to form our histogram. Don't forget we still maintain the same scale on the y-axis here. The scale are still the same. Alright, 1000 to represent the unit in y-axis. Now for 1991, we have 1991. So we start from 1991 here. 1991. Now when you are drawing histogram, it will start from the wall, the first line, because you are joining things together, you are joining everything together. So and the 1991 is 4000. So these are 4000 here. So you just draw it down where you have this. Can you see that now? A histogram is formed now. Now the next one is 1992. We have 1992. Now it's 5000, 1500. Where do you see 1500? You can see that you use your ruler to trace it out. You can see it. You draw it. That is 1500. So it's bent. Let me make it here. Okay, it's not bent again. So that is 1500. For the next one is what? 1993. For 1993, where do we start from 1993? 1993 is 3000. You trace it up. Where do we? So you draw it up again to where you have 3000. Can you see that now? So this is 3000. Then you trace it down again. That forms 3000. Now, from that 3000, 1994. The next one is what? 1994. So how do we find our 1994? The production is 2500. So where do we see 2500? You can see it here. This is it. So you trace it out with your ruler and bring it down again. That is what? For 2500. Now the next one is 1995. This is 1995, which is 5000. Now from here you can see it's lower. You draw it to where you meet up with 5000. So you draw it up. You draw it up again with your ruler. When you trace it to this side, you see it's 5000. Then you trace it down again. So you can see the production is giving us what? It's giving us what? 5000 production. So this is an example of histogram. This is histogram. Now I want to input the frequency polygon inside now. Now how do we get our frequency polygon? Don't forget that when you take the midpoint of all this drawing, that is the first bar now, the midpoint is here. This is the midpoint. And the second bar, we have the midpoint here. The middle now, that's the midpoint. Then we take this one as midpoint. Then we take this at the midpoint. And we take this at the midpoint. Now we are constructing a frequency polygon. Now I've cleaned the bar chart now. Now what we are constructing is our frequency what? Polygon. This is frequency polygon. Frequency polygon. So now, construct the frequency polygon. Now we have taken our midpoint. Now the next thing to do is to join all the midpoints together. Please use your ruler to do this to avoid error. So you join it. Can you see that? You join it, all the midpoint. You join it. You join it. So this one can also come down. Can also come. It will come down, or you leave it. Let's leave it this way. If we still have another one here, it will come down. But since you don't have anything there, then let's just stop it here. So this is what we call polygon. But you can start with the midpoint here. It will go up. You start from the midpoint. Start from the margin. So this is what we call a frequency polygon. What we have inside is what we refer to as what? As a frequency polygon. I think I've explained this outline, the fourth outline. I think you understand it very well now with the illustration. So we are able to conclude this outline. That is, is organization of statistical data. We'll be able to construct a frequency distribution table. We'll be able to construct a pie chart. We're able to construct a bar chart, histogram, and the last one is what we call the frequency polygon. All right. The last thing we are going to be touching here today before we take our leave. The last thing before we move, we'll continue other time to finish all these things. Then we move to what we call the analysis of statistical data, which is the previous one is organization, which this organization of statistical data, and then the last one here is analysis of statistical data. And what are the analysis of statistical data? And that's where we come about the issue. We explain the measurement of location. And under the measurement of location, we have arithmetic mean, we have geometric mean, we have mean, mode, and what? And median. We have mean, mode, and median. So we also move to the other aspect which defines the measurement. That is define the measures. We have variability, we have mean deviation, we have variance and standard deviation. We also have a coefficient of variation. So this is where we are going to stop, put an end to it today. Alright. Without much ado, so we start with the arithmetic mean. Let's start with the arithmetic mean.